People, V BC. Years ago, I'm sure this person, I don't know if this person is still around. Years ago, a young fella got involved in the VC and tried to come up with a hand signal, and he was, see, I know that's, see, I can't, he's trying to do VC with, you know what I mean, kind of like a Star Trek thing, which I thought was cool. It didn't take off, but it was a nice idea. The main thing I want to do today is review one album, and at the end, pass on a piece of just a little thing I wrote that I passed on Facebook that I want to pass on here that may or may not be helpful. This week has been a good week. I am currently working on a prototype of a theme for a small budget horror film. I had been approached by this film director a couple of years ago on this project. I wasn't interested then. I'm interested now because if we can work it out, I need the work, I need the money. But I started working on it this weekend before we've agreed to any terms, because I need to. It's the way I work. I want to see if I have something that this filmmaker values, if he thinks he can use it. So, been working on that among other things, but thought I'd share that. But I went ahead and bought another record. It's what I like to do. It's what you have money, you pay bills, and then you enjoy your money. How do I enjoy my money? Music. So I got this. I'd seen this in the store a while back. Then it sold before I could get it, and I asked him, please, see if you can get this, please, and he did. Herbie Hancock and the Headhunters recorded in my hometown, Omaha Civic Auditorium, the 17th of November, 1975. I was at that concert. I'm in the audience of this show. So it's wonderful to get an archive, of the show. Listening to this, I remember the show. I can actually remember certain things because I was so into this music at this time, so excited about the fact that Herbie Hancock was coming to Omaha at that time, off of Headhunters, Man-Child, and all those wonderful records, And this was a FM radio broadcast is how this was captured. So the sound quality is fair. It's kind of saturated. In other words, the person, whoever got it ready for air, was able to get the signal so it wasn't distorting, but it was still just a bit hot. You know what I mean? Recommended. This was the last stop on the tour. They had been on tour for 5 weeks. Herbie talks about it. He also talks about visiting the local boys club on here. I love that all that's preserved here. It's really an artifact of an event that I was a part of. But they jam out on this. It's the last night. They're getting ready to go home. So they kind of like blow out the stops on certain things. And it's just killer. Just killer. Brian Auger's Oblivion Express opened the show. What a night. What a night. So if you see this album, highly recommended. Highly recommended. I've watched a couple of videos to try to catch up with people. I'm going to do some more catching up. Today in particular is what I'm thinking I'll do, is try to catch up with some folks. I won't name any folks, but people, I love all of you, but some of you, it's like, I haven't come to your channel in quite a while, so let me see what's going on with you. So I intend to do that today. There's other records down here, and I think, okay, I'm going to do this like this, and because I want to pass this statement on. I think some people can use it because that's been the feedback I've gotten off of line by sharing this. So I want to read it. If my computer will cooperate and let me go to my page where I wrote it. I had a couple of folks forward it saying that the words were insightful, and it was something they were thinking but didn't know how to say. So the computer, since I really want it to operate, is going really slow. Here it comes. Thank you. Thank you. I swear, you know what I mean when I say the word swear. I swear a day is coming when the computers are going to just, we're not going to like it. That's what I have to say, okay? Anyway, before I talk about any more music, I want to pass this on because, and I've just got another message from someone who said, I freaking love you. This is so helpful. Okay, so let me talk about this for a second. And I wrote this. It said, let me post this because it's important. This message is to the trolls and the haters of the world who are our brothers and sisters, okay? This is the message. You are so devoid of self-worth that your only contribution to society is to attempt to cast aspersions on others? To those able to see clearly, your actions only reflect what you fail to see about yourself. And for those of us who can see, this negates any impact you had hoped to have, because it just reflects on the emptiness inside of the vessel from which it comes. A little self-discovery and self-appreciation could be very helpful in this situation. Much more effective than lashing out ignorantly at others. And the reason why I've been working on trying to synthesize this message better. I'm thinking about this stuff all the time because words are powerful and language is not a fact. Language is very malleable and can mean whatever it means in the words of the speaker and in the comprehension of the listeners. So I can say I'm always looking for ways to try to say what I'm thinking more concretely that can be understood. And the gist of the message I'm trying to get across is for those that need the information and can use it, become wise to the negative ways of others who attempt to hurt, because again, the whole idea of trolling and hating, hurt is the outcome of those things. Generally speaking, hurt being sent out is a message that there is hurt within, hurt that's not being addressed, or emptiness, something is lacking, or maybe something might be broken. You know what I'm saying? The circuitry that allows a human to move through the different emotions and see the different darkness and light. Somehow something is corrupted, and so all that we get is this stuck program of hurtful, hateful, blind, negative, ignorant behavior. And it's just really, it's always important for this information to be trying to be got out. But I really feel, since I'm working on using it, understanding it, that it's part of what I can do is to pass that on. I'm constantly working on the realization that I do not, nor does anyone else, have to be victimized by other people's minds, and to dispel the illusion that somehow merely because someone else is having a thought that is anti-you, that it has to be a reality. Really want to encourage people to see through that and see that most often the person who is slinging the negatives is in need, has problems, doesn't understand, is confused, might just not be very intelligent, but usually it's a combination of those things. And some people really need this information, so they can be stronger and not be manipulated and bullied. And So that's why I keep saying it, and I'm probably going to keep saying it, okay, because this world is insane, and people are so unkind. So many people, there are so many people in positions of power who are really immature and selfish and setting really horrid examples through their behavior for the world. That's another reason why I do this, because those people have all the money and are holding sway, and look at the effect they're having on culture. Man, we're in a sick pile of shit right now. The world is. Hawkwind, Space Ritual. Hawkwind comes up a lot. So I played this last night. This album came out in, I think, 1973. I saw them the year after in 74 or 5, I forget. Lemmy from Motorhead was still in the band. Stasia, Nick Turner, Robert Calvert, they were all there, stoned out of their minds visibly, and the show was amazing. German space band Eloy. I was listening to Floating last night. Great progressive space rock band from Germany. 70s, stuff from the 70s. I was into space last night, listening to the Japanese band, Far East Family Band, Nipponjin. Like a Japanese Pink Floyd. Really, really spacey and excellent. Listen to this all the way through last night. This album has grown in stature in my ears over time. Force of Nature. Early 70s, horn band. Similar in approach to like Earth, Wind, and Fire. Really neat, intelligent lyrics. Pondering questions of life. Not just, ooh, girl, I love you. Well, we got those on here. But these guys are asking, questions. And it's philosophical. Man, I like that in music. Not just stupid. Not just about getting draws. Not just about getting it wet, I mean, that's part of life, but for fuck's sake, it's like, for a while, as I was growing up, it seemed like there was this curve of upward motion in man, where we were well aware of our base needs and desires, but we're trying to grow and increase our technology and our knowledge. And it seemed like we hit, once the game got open and it was like, the only thing that matters is who can get the money, then everything fell apart, and everything is just now so hedonistic. These things are on my mind. I know I sound crazy to some of y'all, and so what? This is what I see. I think some people benefit from having someone babble and say their thoughts like this. Forest, another album from 1968. This is a reissue. Originals of this on Harvest are pretty collectible. These were some young English people who did not have a lot of training in folk music, but obviously had a deep love for it, because that comes through on this album. They don't play that great, but you can hear in their voices and the playing that it's really spirited. This is one of those collectible albums that I understand why it's so collectible. Really good, really, really special and unique. What else did I play? Well, what I played this morning is some of what, again, was misaligned as New Age music. It's just beautiful music. David, Michael, and Randy Mead, Petals in the Stream, 1987 Fortuna. Yeah, this is that sort of stuff you find in the New Age. This music is just beautiful and healthy. It's like taking the top of the house off on a sunny day and just letting all of nature come in and freshen things up. Highly recommend this. So right quick, I'm going to stop. Shout out to the Artist Master, someone who is in the BC who used to make videos. I just heard from her last night. It's been years. It's nice to know that people are around. It's nice to hear from you. So I understand the whole idea of friendship, interaction. How can there be friendship if there's no interaction? I just want y'all to understand that because of my childhood, okay, too much information, oh well. You watch me, so I'm trying to tell you about me. I get a chance to. When I was a kid, 5 kids, but I was the middle kid, my mom, shortly after I was born, lost her hearing. We were too poor to afford hearing aids, so she read lips, and we children were kind of her communicators. So We lived across the street from my grandparents, my mom's parents, and my mom, even though they're right across the street, somehow I think because of her deafness, it made her feel disconnected, and so she would have us call her mom every day on the phone just to say hello. And I was almost always the person who got stuck doing it. And I'm saying it how it went down. Yeah, I felt stuck. I used to hate that phone call after a while. It would drive me crazy because it seemed insane. Grandma's right across the street. We can go out on the front damn porch and look at her over there and wave. Why am I calling her? Why are we doing this every fucking day? And it has something to do with the way that I am with people, which is I see you, I love you, we'll get together, we'll have a good time. When it's time to go, it's time to go. I'll see you next time. I'm not feeling this clingy need to call you and make sure we're still connected. I'm aware that that story about my background, no one else knows it. And so I can understand how some people who have felt close to me when I don't stay in touch with them, how they take it personally, you know. And I've lost friends over the years this way. But it's unrealistic for people to expect others to change just for them. It never happens. We change from within because of something that sparks us to change. I'm just saying this is how I am. I love you all. And I go through phases of, okay, it's time to see what's going on here. Time to go over here. I'll say this. But mostly it's like, you know, it'll start to feel like an obligation. Like, oh, I gotta get a hold of somebody. It's like, and that turns me off, so I don't do it. So there you go. Too much information. Be kind to one another. And folks who, for whatever reason, it's your agenda or you feel the need or somehow feel like you're doing something clever or cool by being mean to others and looking for fault in others, I think it's an inescapable truth that the fault that you are seeing in others is a reflection of something lacking within you. I deal with this myself. I'm a human. You know what I'm saying? Far from perfect. And a lot of times what irritates me about others is something that's inside of me that I need to address.